Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, IndieAuthor Jill. It is time for another TBR pull because we have finished the books that we just previously pulled. So, let's give it a good shake here. Let's see what we got. We still got a lot on the top shelf and a lot on the bottom shelf that we have yet to get through. To get open. 29. Okay. 29. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Okay. The Curious Case of Plagium. I hope I'm saying that right. Case of... I think this is a mystery. Unfortunately, she was soon interrupted by the paper suddenly, going up in smoke. Literally. Combustible paper is an invention outlawed years ago, so how did Tracy Higginbottom receive one in a motor mail? Tracy Higginbottom, Mr. Potter's witty assistant, finds herself at a dead end when constables dismiss the case of his possible kidnapping, include only by his glasses, a handkerchief, and a strange note. She embarks on a search to find him herself, with the unexpected help of a spunky adventurer, a snarky chimney sweep boy and his attentive sister, and a reluctant records keeper who holds a suspicious amount of obscure knowledge. She finds herself in good company on her quest. Prying too deeply, however, complicates matters beyond Tracy's expectations. Whoever is responsible for Mr. Porter's disappearance is determined to stay hidden and will stop at nothing to keep her from finding the truth. I think I've said before that this cover with the main character kind of gives Pinocchio vibes for me. Let's see. Okay. Take one right off the top. 91. Oh, wow. That's a really thin one. Oh. I wonder if this is going to end up being Annika Dellen's book. She has a tendency of writing, it is black, really thin books. No, it's not. The Mermaid from My Nightmare by Christina Gallo. Oh, Haley Morrison wrote Curious Case of Plagium. Nightmares. No, nothing on the back. Does it have... Oh, nice big wording. The formatting feels a little weird, but that may be intentional. It has a table of contents, but it doesn't tell you what page any of the any of the chapters start on, and none of the chapters have names. My first name is Christina. I use the pseudonym Gajo as my alias. I am a Croatian writer. My genres are drama, romance, thriller, and horror. My stories have inspiration from reality. I prefer to give the reader a feeling of adrenaline, so welcome to my roller coaster. Oh, here we go. Living in different parts of the world, Dejana and Antonio would never meet. Dejana is a journalist who's looking for inspiration for a story. Antonio is a family man, a workaholic. When Dejana comes to Brazil to visit her younger sister, their paths will cross. The event from the past is hunting him, and the act of burglary will wake up his fearful doubts and bitter memories. A remnants of an affair with a woman called Mermaid damaged his reputation. His family's in danger. Who's hating him so much to want him dead? Another victim will pay for sins. And whose turn is next? Interesting. Okay. $87. I don't know if you guys can actually see the numbers when I'm holding them up. Let's see. 87. Oh, that's another relatively thin. Not as thin as the one I just pulled, but a thin one nonetheless. Oh, prediction, I think it might be the spreadsheet situation. And I'm wrong. Fabled Remains. R.E. Busby. Book 1 in the Fabled series. What would happen if the world decided to save itself? A young teacher and 4 of her pupils find out when tragedy strikes and an inscrutable stranger leads them into a world peopled by races they have only read about in fairy tales. Fabled Remains is R.E. Busby's debut novel, the first in a fantasy trilogy. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, so table of contents. The chapters have names, but again, no page numbers to tell you what page they're on. This plagium? Ooh! We got a map. Love that. And a legend for the map. Alright. In which Tracy Higginbottom encounters a dilemma, Chapter 1. So I like the chapters names because they're very reminiscent of how Winnie the Pooh's chapters are done, but no table of contents, which is fine, because I can't make a judgment call because they didn't, I at least can't make fun of them for not adding pages. 21. Or page numbers too, where they're, I don't know, again, I don't know if you can see the numbers, and if this is making any difference, but I'm trying to, transparency and all that. Another thin one. I have a feeling we're going to get through this TBR relatively fast and be back here for another TBR pull. Oh, I think this is one of my neighbors. Oh, another mystery, I think. I think this is one my neighbor wrapped up for me. Who is Bobby May? A novel by C.C. Legault. 25-year-old Bobby May wakes up alone in a hospital room. Her first visitor is a man she doesn't recognize who claims to be her husband, Simon. There's complete darkness in her recall caused by a life-threatening car accident. Her sister and husband inform her. Even though she tries desperately to remember, there are simply too many gaps. Unsure whether her memories will ever return, Bobby May starts to read her old journals, reading about her life in her own words. Will, she hopes, reveal who she was so that she can regain her sense of self? Will she be able to process the grief of her father whose death she cannot remember? Will she be able to fall in love again with a man she once loved? Okay. Not quite what I thought it was, but yeah. Okay. It has a table of contents. The chapters all have names, and there's numbers, so you know which page any of the chapters start on. Well done, Cece. No maps, because I don't think you really need one. And we won't falter for that. Okay, last one for this poll. 28. We get a chunky one this time? Nope. Okay. If this one, so I know that Annika Dellen has a book in here somewhere. Mortog the Damned. And I know it's a thin novella. I don't think it's number 9. I think number 9 is a little too thick. But it could be 15, 16, 20. It could also be 51, 50, 51, and 52. Is there any down here that it might be? Maybe 90? 90 seems a little thick. So, see if I can tell what it is. No. Again, this is probably one my neighbor read. Oh! Okay, so I have to draw another book then, because I can't review this book when I read it, because this is going in with the Christmas ones, but it's Christmas Fudge Fatality. What was that, 28? Yeah. Okay, so we'll draw another book because, like I said, that's going to go in our Advent in December box. Okay. 38. Okay, so this one's a little chunky. Where did I... right here beside, between Tales of Arcane of Fortune and Elite Memories. What's this one? Ooh. This is one I was interested in. I did recently find out when I was wrapping these and I was kind of looking into the books that this is actually not the first in the series. But it is kind of a standalone. But it's called Fragile Focus, A New Generation of Bentleys and Kings, book number 5. So it's part of a series, but it's also a standalone. Like, and from what I've heard from others that have talked about this book, that the writer does a good job of each book does stand on its own 2 feet without needing the other books, but anyone that has started in the middle of the series has always wanted to go back to, like, oh wait, you know, it hinted at something in the past in the last book. So Riona Cahill has built a career capturing the world through her precious camera, gifted to her many years ago by her mum. As a travel photographer for the Roaming Lens, a prize-winning magazine, her life is one of movement and discovery. As she chases stories across cities, countrysides, and cultures, when a new assignment takes her to Japan, she finds herself immersed in its quiet rhythms, from forested Shinto shrines and time-worn rituals to the sense of that some places speak even when no one is listening. Riona is captivated by all that Japan has to offer. However, it's not only the country that captivates her heart. The Toru family she meets and lives with while there leaves a lasting impression on her that cannot be forgotten. However, when she returns to England, Riona begins to feel unwell. Dizziness, fatigue, and a sense of disconnection are easy to dismiss at first because, after all, she's always lived on the edge of exhaustion. Yet, as they persist, Riona finds herself navigating not only unfamiliar landscapes, but the unsettling realization that something has shifted inside and out. Determined not to lose momentum, she continues traveling, seeking beauty in remote places while quickly questioning what's happening beneath the surface. Along the way, she's forced to reflect on what she has been running toward, and what she maybe have been running from. So one of the people who read this told me that Riona is like the other books in the beginning. I believe the main character was Annie, and she like had I don't know if she, like, something happened with Annie, like she went missing or something, and this is Annie's niece. Um, so it sounded interesting, and yeah. So, like I said, it sounds interesting, and I am interested in reading it. And one of that reader also told me that it's available as an audiobook. So I might check the audiobook out as well, because it's finally warming up. I'm going to be working outside a lot more, and it would be nice to have an audiobook going, because I like to listen to audiobooks while I'm mowing the yard or whatever. So, okay. We have The Curious Case of Plagium by Haley Morrison, The Mermaid from My Nightmare by Christina Gallo. I know I've pronounced it several different ways already, 3 different ways already. Hopefully I can reach out to her and find out how to pronounce her name properly. Fabled Remains, R.E. Busby. Who is Bobby May? A novel by C.E. Legault. Again, I'll reach out and make sure I'm saying her name right, hopefully. Christmas Fudge Fatality by Addison Moore. And Fragile Focus, A New Generation of Bentleys and Kings, Book 5, by Tammy Lockamy. That's our new TBR, and when I finish with that, we'll be back here for another TBR poll. Yeah, I guess that's it. Bye, guys.